Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to see what is the difference between trigger versus store procedure. We will understand each difference as well as when to use trigger, when to use store procedure, or what are the key difference in this video we are going to see. So let's get started with triggers. What are they? Triggers automatically executed in response to the events. So any database changes happen, we can apply on that changes triggers. Like for example, data changes, insert, update or delete. So what this trigger provide, this is the data validation purpose we can use that ensure data integrity, auditing, track changes made to the data. So for example, I want to update any record or auditing details based on the changes in the database table. So we can use these triggers. So next, if we go into see store procedure, what are they? So pre-compiled block of code that can be called. So it is a SQL statement, a store procedure, one type of SQL statement that are the pre-compiled, and whenever we need that we can call. So it will helps us to reusable code. So avoiding repeating code, we can perform all the tasks at one time, means multiple SQL statement we can write in one store procedure and that we can call at a time. So it will avoid repeating or number of transaction with the database. So improved performance, reduce server overhead. So it will reduce server overhead because all the transaction in the database were doing that are the compiled already and we are just calling that. So enhance security, so control access to database operations. Then next, if we see triggers key feature, it executed automatically based on the events. So before trigger executed before event, after trigger executed after event, instead of trigger replace the event. This means when we want to when we perform any insert or update operation, based on we can use before the update, after the update. So that is the trigger. So store procedure or key feature is modular block of code that can be reused. So calls procedure, invoke the store procedure, we need to call store procedure, then execute the code in the procedure, then return result. It is optional, return the results. Then here if we see example, trigger how we can create, we need to create trigger and audit customer. So when we are creating, after insert on the customer, for each row we are beginning insert into audit log, table name, action, timestamp, and then we are inserting values. So it is once the customer table is updated. And how we can creating store procedure, create store procedure, and it is a block of SQL statement. Here we are just selecting customer from the based on the customer ID. Then next, if we see trigger versus store procedure, when to use. So decide based on the task at hand. So security, we can use store procedure. For data integrity, we can use triggers. Code reusability, we can use store procedures. And here are the some key features of store procedure versus triggers given. Execution. So trigger are automatically executed because it is a one type of triggered on the event happen in the database. Then store procedure, we need to manually call this. Code reuse, so it is limited, it is high in the store procedure. So data integrity strong and it is moderate. That's all the major differences between triggers and store procedure, guys. I hope you have gained some knowledge from this video. Thanks for watching. Thank you, guys.